formerly known as the EA Game Changer program, but now recently completely renamed to EA Creator Network. This is now open to the public.
I freaking submitted my application April 29th. It is June 19th. Why does it take so long, EA?
When I applied, I never thought I was gonna get in.
I got this email last night. I am now officially a member of the EA Creator Network.
You are the only reason that this was even possible for me.
In my last expose, I lifted back the curtain on gaming influencers and exposed just how entangled they are with game companies. And today I present to you a shining example of how corrupt, greedy, and dishonest influencers can be. Ladies and gentlemen, the EA Creator Network. But I want to clarify some things before we get into this. Despite what some members of the Sims community say, I don't just criticize game companies like EA or the content creators that work with them because I'm a hateful incel. I actually do it in defense of us, the players and consumers, and as someone who has been personally ripped off by this game. Back when I used to play, I probably spent hundreds of dollars on DLC. Speaking of DLC, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Instant Gaming. Why do I work with Instant Gaming, you ask? There's two reasons. First, I like saving money on video games, simple as that. We don't even own the games we buy digitally, so why would we pay full price for them? And secondly, buying on Instant Gaming means less money goes into the pockets of greedy game publishers. So unless it's an indie game or a studio you really want to support, I think it's perfectly moral to buy games at a discount using sites like Instant Gaming. So if enough people use the link in the description, maybe EA CEO Andrew Wilson will only earn $30.4 million this year instead of 30.5. And you know, that's called progress. Thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video.
Oh, new window box. Oh, it's cute too.
Do you ever watch a Sims video and feel like you're being sold to?
Yup.
Is it because they profit off of the never-ending DLC cycle? Or are they really just that excited by the 99th DLC and the 200th sofa?
Another casual sofa. Oh my gosh, I love this.
The job of influencers in the EA Creator Network is to market games like The Sims to you on behalf of EA. It's a very simple concept. It's why these creator programs exist. And it's why they get early access to DLC so they can make videos about it and get you super hyped up so that you make the grave mistake of pre-ordering that DLC. But if you do it, it will ruin your life.
That I know.
Look, I don't know how many people are in the EA Creator Network. It feels like there might be thousands, but I do remember one time The Sims did a countdown where all these EA partners were like counting down to 1. And I was in fear for my life. I could have swore when that timer got to 1, Lil Simsy was gonna snipe me from the building across the street, honestly. But what truly happened was actually worse. I know I might sound paranoid, but when Sims Twitter has called for your death on more than one occasion, it's a real fear. But what I do know is that whenever a new Sims DLC is announced, the EA partners pop out of the shadows with a super giddy smile, and they get really surprised by things like hopscotch.
Hopscotch? Oh my god. Oh my god.
And toilet paper swatches.
That is so cool. I really like that.
But the incredible honor of being in the EA Creator Network doesn't come without criticism. And one simmer on TikTok actually made this whole video where she clapped back at a viewer who dared to criticize her status as an EA partner.
Okay, hashtag EA partner, still happy taking their money and free packs. Yes, I am. And that, my friends, is because I am a sellout.
Was that sarcasm or a Freudian slip?
I don't love The Sims because I'm an EA partner. I am an EA partner because I love The Sims. That's like a whole part of it. You have to like The Sims to be in the EA Creator Network.
She starts off by saying she's in the EA Creator Network because she loves The Sims. But I don't know if I buy that completely. Do you guys know that phrase, correlation does not imply causation? Sure, there might be a correlation between being in the EA Creator Network and liking The Sims. But at the same time, tons of people play The Sims and don't join the EA Creator Network.
Now, the most important question about any creator program is, what's in it for me?
You joined for the benefits. It kind of feels like the gaslighting is already starting. And maybe I don't know this person well enough to say that, but I also know that they're a Sims 4 player, so... maybe I do know.
And I would be making Sims content regardless of whether I was in the EA Creator Network or not, because I made Sims content for years before I was in the EA Creator Network. So why would I not want to have something like an affiliate code where I could potentially make a little bit of extra money on the content that I was already going to make? Why would I not take free packs of a game that I was already going to buy?
It's great that she acknowledges that last part. She was making Sims content before, and now she gets a few more perks for doing that. But what she doesn't mention is that for these EA partners, once they start receiving those perks, I'm pretty sure they don't want to lose them. You want to keep getting the early access to DLC so you can make content. You want to keep getting paid to make sponsored videos. You want the free merch, the creator codes. So once you join, you have a vested interest in remaining in the network. If The Sims 4 sells, they benefit. Again, that's the whole reason EA has a creator network, to get these content creators invested in the success of their games. Her role in the EA Creator Network is to promote the game, hype it up, market it. It's really that simple.
People have it like in their brains for some reason that like the second you join the EA Creator Network, you never actually liked The Sims and you're only playing it because you're in the EA Creator Network. And that's simply not true.
I don't think anyone's saying that.
And because of my love for The Sims 4, I complain about The Sims all the fucking time. Because I have a voice, and because I'm in EA Creator Network, the Sims team might listen to that voice a little bit more. It gives me a little bit more credibility, you know what I mean?
Oh, careful now. I don't want her to throw out her back with that reach. The EA Creator Network has been around for long enough to know that these people don't do shit for the game. How do I know that? Because the game is still bad. The packs still come out broken AF.
The Sims team might listen to that voice a little bit more. It gives me a little bit more credibility, you know what I mean?
But do these EA partners really think they have that kind of influence? It's kind of given lock your doors. I'm sorry. There's a delusional simmer on the loose.
Maybe not credibility to you people, because everybody for some reason is like very against people being in the EA Creator Network when, let's be honest, if given the chance, you'd probably say yes too. Stop. Get over yourselves, okay?
That last part is very presumptuous. I don't really consider myself a Sims channel anymore. I'm pretty sure like only 5 out of my last 15 videos were about The Sims. My non-Sims content does extremely well, and I'm very grateful for that.
Not everybody has that.
But for those who don't know, I actually did start off as a Sims 3 channel. I did that for like 2 years, got like 7 million views, did very well at that. But I can promise you, I never once considered applying to be in the EA Creator Network. Some of us don't want to be glorified yet underpaid salespeople. But let's go back to that one part.
Maybe not credibility to you people, because everybody for some reason is like very against people being in the EA Creator Network.
The reason people criticize EA partners is because they do not respect what you're doing. They don't respect that you chose to align yourself with a multi-billion-dollar company that has a history of treating its players, its employees, and its IP like garbage. They don't respect that you went out of your way to partner with EA to promote The Sims 4, a game that has one of the most egregious monetization models in modern gaming. If people call you a shill or a sellout, that's your own doing. I mean, you guys put yourself in this position. And it might seem like I'm being a bit harsh on this person, but she's also down there liking comments that say, people are just jealous of EA partners. As a rich white lady once said,
Jealous of what?
it's not because you're marketing a game on behalf of a $38 billion company. It's not because creator networks are anti-consumer. It's not because you're hyping up the 99th DLC. It's because we're jealous. You're right. We all want to be sellouts just like you.
I am a sellout.
I need to go on TikTok more often. There's so much endless entertainment. So as we've established, an EA partner's ultimate goal is to get you, the player, to engage with the game and to buy the new pack, preferably using the creator code. You can't forget about that. And you know what's really fascinating? I've made a lot of videos at this point talking about content creators from a whole bunch of different genres. And it's so obvious just based off the comments I get from Simmers that a lot of Sims players kind of worship these content creators. It's kind of terrifying how deep these parasocial relationships go. And I get it, it's hard to imagine that these super bubbly and cheerful creators like Lil Simsy or Vixella or Deligracy could actually have ulterior motives. And I'm not saying that any of them are evil villains or deserve jail time. Maybe it's hard to argue that they aren't perpetuating an already very problematic monetization scheme. These people have a vested interest in keeping The Sims 4 alive. For many of them, the game is their livelihood. I can tell you for a fact, some of these creators earn a very nice living from The Sims 4. And this is exactly why they have a tendency to sugarcoat the hell out of every new Sims 4 DLC. They really lean into the positive aspects of every new pack that's released, and they tend to focus less on the negative aspects, even when that means they're doing a disservice to their viewers. So to prove my point, I want to take a trip back to December 2023 when The Sims 4 for Rent was about to be released. And I want to remind you guys, The Sims 4 for Rent is the worst reviewed expansion pack in Sims 4 history. It has a 34% negative review on Steam, and it launched with its main feature, the ability to collect rent, completely broken. And the cherry on top is that it introduced this game-breaking, save-corrupting bug that is still not fixed to this day. But as usual, the EA partners were hyping this pack harder than I hype myself on my Tinder profile.
What the hell?
When they released their early access reviews, many of them praised for Rent. One EA partner gave it a 9 out of 10, saying it was second to Cottage Living in terms of the best expansions for The Sims 4.
So for my score with this pack, I think I'd give it a 9.
And Lil Simsy said it was a must-have.
Overall, for me, this pack is, I think, gonna be a must-have. I am just so excited. I keep saying this, but I have been dreaming about this for years. I can't believe they actually made it.
Again, let me remind you that the main feature of this pack was broken at the time. The pack was all about being a landlord and collecting rent, and you could not collect rent. How in the hell are you going to recommend someone to buy a product that does not work as advertised?
Now check that.
To give Lil Simsy credit, she did post this part in her review where she said she went back and realized that the feature didn't work.
I'm cutting in from a different day because there actually is one other major bug that I've been encountering. For some reason, across all of my saves in all of the hours that I have played, I have never once been paid rent. So yeah, I feel like that was important to add in and mention here.
But then she reassured her viewers that this was the early access version and that the version that was being released could be different.
And again, this isn't final software, so it's possible that that might be fixed when the game launches next week.
Spoiler alert, it was not fixed by release. It had the same exact bug. And they knew at the time that this feature wasn't working, but did that stop any of these EA partners from recommending this pack to you? I think you guys know the answer.
The gameplay in this pack is really great. Multi-unit residential rentals delivers on exactly what it was promising to do.
I actually really enjoyed my time with this expansion pack.
This has been kind of a rave review, but there's not really too much else that I can complain about here. I was near tears opening up this game for the first time because I was so excited.
Viewers watched these early access reviews and purchased for rent because they believed they were getting this revolutionary DLC. It's so anti-consumer. Not only are these video game content creators that people go to for their honest opinions and recommendations on video games, they're misleading their viewers hardcore. Some people's games got corrupted because they bought this pack. Yet, these creators chose to market this DLC in the most positive of lights, giving minor sugar-coated critiques sandwiched between positivity. And here's what really bothers me. I'll sometimes get comments from people being like, XYZ EA partner does criticize the game. And that's true. Some of them do talk about the bugs and things they don't like with the DLC, but they always stop short of addressing the bigger issues. The nearly 100 DLC. The features that have been broken up and sold to players in separate packs for quadruple the price. The DLC that was released years ago that is still broken to this day. I would love for one of these people to acknowledge that 99 DLC is excessive, that the monetization model is predatory, that no game should cost $1,300 or $1,400. And again, I'm not saying all of the EA partners are lying shills, but there is a discernible silence when it comes to these bigger problems. problems with this franchise. Here's what it all boils down to, okay? These creators have played a significant role not only in the decline of the Sims franchise, but in the milking of the Sims player base. To continuously hype up DLC after DLC and to flash your creator code across the screen so that you directly profit off of this never-ending monetization of the game is kind of messed up. And the thing is, it's not always blatant deceit either. I don't think any of these creators promoted The Sims 4 for rent, knowing that it would go on to break so many people's games and that it would take EA a year and a half and counting to change. I don't think these creators knew that the Dine Out expansion would never really work how it was supposed to. I mean, they still promoted these packs, but still. I guess my issue is that they're all kind of given back with no bone. The integrity isn't in the room with us, and neither is the accountability. And ultimately, this is why I believe the EA Creator Network and any gaming network is anti-consumer, because influencers in creator networks are leveraging their viewers in order to market games for these giant companies whose success they have a vested interest in. They're entangled with the game that makes them money, and for some of them is their livelihood. They're exploiting the trust you placed in them, the parasocial relationships you formed with them, and the sizable followings they've cultivated in order to sell games to you. And by the time you wake up and realize those games are shit and they're not getting any better, you're kind of already too invested to crawl out of the pit that they've dug for you. Also, speaking of like dirt, did you guys know this new pack comes with the ability for a sim to sleep on the ground? Yeah, sleeping on the ground in The Sims is locked behind a $40 paywall. But hey, at least for once, The Sims 4 stands can touch some grass.